Hey quilters, Sarah from Snugglebug Stitching here, and here we are at part 3 of our 3-part series on making a rag quilt. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit in case you missed the others. We're using a different design, and I'll have the first 2 videos linked in the description so you can see what we're talking about. But I've got all of my blocks laid out here and ready to chain piece or web piece. So if you want to lay your blocks out on your design wall or on your floor or on your bed, to be sure you like the layout first, you can do that. But here you see I have everything ready to make it easier for me to chain piece this. And yes, you can chain piece or web piece your rag quilts just like regular quilts. So let me explain how all of this is laid out. This quilt is going to be 36 blocks, so 6 blocks by 6 blocks. And here you see the 6 separate columns. So each column is stacked in order from the top block to the bottom block. And we're going to keep this first column separate. So we've got our columns. Each column is also in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to keep this first column just like it is. And the rest we are going to make into one large pile in order from top to bottom. So we've got column 2 stacked on top of column 3, on top of column 4, on top of column 5, on top of column 6. So I've got all these blocks in order, top to bottom, and I have all my blocks turned the way they need to be in the quilt. So what this is going to do for us is when we go to chain piece these, we're going to have our first column is separate so that you don't have to think and try to count and okay, have I put 5 blocks in here, have I put 6? So we have our 6 ready, and then after that you'll just keep sewing onto that. So after you run out of, after you get to the bottom of this first row, then you know, go back up to the top and start again. So everything is in order for us, in the order that we're going to put it in the quilt. And I'll meet you at the sewing machine and I'll show you how to chain piece this. Okay guys, so we are chain piecing our rag quilt, and as you can see the rag quilts are a little bit different than regular quilts. We have our seam allowance on the top side here. So what that lets us do is we can go and make little cuts in this seam allowance. We're going to cut it close to the thread but not all the way to it, and you'll cut that every 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch or so. And when you wash it, that's going to fray, and it's going to have these really pretty frayed seams in the middle. So right now we are chain piecing our rag quilt. I've got a couple columns together already, and we're going to start with the next one. So to get that seam on the top, instead of placing your fabric right sides together like you normally would, you're going to place your fabric wrong sides together. So place that fabric wrong sides together. And we're going to use a bigger seam than usual. So instead of a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we're going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And you can line your walking foot up with the edge of your fabric and have your needle in the regular position, and that's going to give you that 1/2 inch seam allowance that you need. So we're going to sew that seam allowance. And you can see here, these first lines that I chain pieced are still connected, and we're just going to leave those connected, and we'll keep it connected until the very end of assembling our quilt, and then we can end up cleaning up those extra threads when we go to make the cuts in the seam to make that fray. So I'll do a few here so you can see what we're doing. We're just stacking our fabric wrong sides together and sewing that 1/2 inch seam allowance. And we'll just keep doing that until we get all the way to the bottom. And then once we get all the way to the bottom, we start back at the top, and we'll just keep going until we get, we're adding a column at a time, but when we're finished, we'll end up with our 6 rows together and ready for us. So I'm going to sew one more on here for you, and then I'll meet you back at the sewing machine when it's time to sew our rows together. So now that we've got all of our columns chain pieced, that has made our 6 rows, and as you can see, they are all still connected. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sew these rows together. And we're going to leave these connected, and that is going to make it so that you do not run the risk of sewing your rows together in the wrong order. I've definitely done that a few times. So I'm going to show you how I get these seams to line up. I like to nest the seams, but if you prefer pressing them open, you definitely can. So we're going to have our little cameraman, our fabulous little cameraman, kind of zoom in on my hands here. And you can see that I am nesting those seams. We're sewing these rows together, wrong sides together, just like we did when we were chain piecing. And I'm just going to grab a pin, pin those together, and we'll pin all of the seams in this row together. And we'll sew a row together, and then we'll keep repeating that until we get the whole quilt together. All right, now our rag quilt is together. Just to show you a few things, these strings and frayed pieces, we'll clean those up when we snip the seam allowances. And if you see here, we do have some seams that ended up getting twisted, and these actually don't bother me anyway. Twisted seams don't bother me, but they don't matter really even for this kind of quilt with the seams exposed on the top. And the reason for that is when we snip these, we'll cut right there really close to where that junction is, and this one too, and the fray will hide where that seam allowance is twisted. So you do have a lot of leeway in rag quilts, and they are pretty forgiving. So at this point, now that we've got this finished, we have to finish our edges. So you can either sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance around all of the edges and just clip those just like you would the others, or you can bind it. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. If you are going to add a corner label and bind it, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to go ahead and do that now before you clip these seams. All right, so now that we've got our quilt finished, it's time to snip those exposed seams. We're going to cut about every 1/4 inch or so. Got the binding finished, so if you are going to bind it, you want to do that before you do this. You'll want to cut close to the stitch line, but not all the way to it. You don't want to cut through those stitches, so I'm usually going to go about right there. You have these little threads everywhere. It's a good time to clean those up, so you can just cut those while you're cutting that. A few things that'll make it a little bit easier for you. I'm wearing this little glove on the hand that I hold the scissors with. It's got foam padding on it. If you do a lot of these and end up cutting a lot of seams, you can get hot spots on your hands real quick, so that's going to protect them. And something that's going to help save your wrist is a pair of spring-loaded scissors. So what that's going to do is you have to squeeze in, but you don't have to move your hand to get it to come out because they pop out on their own. So that's going to save a little motion in your wrist and make it a little bit easier for you. So you're just going to cut every 1/4 inch or so, close to the stitch line but not to it. We're cutting through all of those layers there. And you'll just go along with this until you get them all. All right, now that we have all these raw edges clipped at about a 1/4 inch or so apart, we just need to wash it. And when we wash it, these clipped edges will fray and it's gonna look really pretty. And since we used a light backing, and with these quilts designed to have the seam exposed on the top of the quilt, with the fray, you can kind of see it now, how there's like, you can see the white accent color in the middle, but when it frays, that'll be really pretty. So let's get this in the washing machine. We're going to wash the quilts based on the fabric in it. So this one's got flannel on the back. So since it's got flannel on the back, we're going to wash this in the washing machine on gentle cycle and cold water. And then we'll just throw it in the dryer. And just a little tip, when you dry these quilts do produce a lot of lint. They produce a lot of little tiny strings. So while you're drying it, you may want to check in there every 10 to 15 minutes or so and clean out the lint trap, because the first time you wash one of these, they'll fill up that lint trap real quick. So after this gets out of the washing machine, I'll meet you back here and show you how it turned out. Okay, so I just got this guy out of the dryer. You can see how pretty that fray turned out, and also how nicely that white fabric on the back makes a nice little accent in the fray. And you see a lot of fuzz and lint on it. That's because the first time you wash these, they're going to produce a lot of fuzz. So you can use a lint roller, and that'll pick up that fuzz and also help you fluff up that fray. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other stuff.